What up, fighters? What up, fighters? This is Next Round, and welcome. Thanks a lot for rocking with me. I'm Anthony. If this is your first time being with me, welcome once again. Y'all, we're going to get straight into this, and if you are ready to get this going, let's get it. All right, so we're going to be talking about faith. And you trying to take us to church? Nope. Not trying to do that. Just trying to let you know what this faith walk is and why we need it. I'm not trying to force anything upon you, beliefs or anything. Nope, that's not my move. That's not my MO. But I'm trying to let you understand what is this faith journey for us and what it does to us and how it makes us look to the outside world. And what I'm talking about, y'all, is when faith looks like madness at first. When faith looked like madness at first. I promise you, we have been there, and some of y'all have been there. And also, what we tend to mistake in is that the breakthroughs will often look like breakdowns. I'll say that for you again. The breakthroughs will oftentimes look like breakdowns. And here's what you got to understand: if people are, they're not questioning, or if people or yourself, you're not questioning your steps in the beginning of this journey, whatever it is you're trying to do, you're not questioning that. Listen, you're probably not walking in faith. You're not. I don't care who people are. I don't care how they consider them to be the most pious person, that the person got the biggest faith of all. I don't care who they are. Listen to me. Everyone who sets out on a journey, everyone who's prayed for something to happen, everyone who's believed that, look, this is what I see for myself and I'm going to have to strike out on my own on doing this. Listen to me. Everyone who has done it, in the beginning, they have questioned. Show me that person say, oh, I've never questioned God. I've never questioned how things was going to work out. I've never questioned the Most High. That's a lie. Everybody has. I know I have. We talking about in the beginning. These are the beginning steps. If you have not, or people around you have not questioned it, yeah, you're probably not walking in faith. You just saying, yeah, I just know it's going to happen. That's from people whenever things have happened before. But when you got a monumental task ahead of you that you say, look, I'm looking to get this done in this time. I promise you, on the start of it, the beginning journey of it, the nascent journey, it is like, oh crap. What did I just do? What did I just sign up for? Did my mouth write a check that I don't know if I'm going to be able to cash? And that's perfectly fine. I don't care what preachers or whoever out there is going to tell you, you don't do that. No, it's natural. You're going to do that. It's natural. The only thing that's different if you stay walking in that. If you stay in that same mindset, you still staying out, I don't know, then yeah, you doing this wrong. You're completely off with why you're doing this. So let's get up into it, and here's what you need to understand. Real faith rarely looks polished. And it looks messy, it's uncertain, sometimes downright stupid. You look stupid to others, and you may look stupid to yourself. You're like, man, this don't make no sense. It doesn't make sense. But when you follow a calling only you can hear, don't expect an applause. Expect confusion. And I know we're going to hear, wait a minute, but God is not the author of confusion. I know that. Confusion is like, wait, I don't understand how this is. Wait, huh? So I'm supposed to do this. You're telling me I'm supposed to, you're saying I'm supposed to go and walk through these doors that just looks like it is closed on me. I'm supposed to walk through that. You're confused, right? It's just like when you say, yo, you know what? I just got that inkling that I need to go and call the bank to get the loan. Even though the loan company shut you down 3-4 times, and then you get that moving in within, and you're like, I'm supposed to call them? For real? Wait. They shut me down 3-4 times. Now you tell me I got to call them another time? Doesn't make sense. So that with that, most people only understand faith after the outcome shows up. I just brought that up to you. When things start to work out and start to look up, that's when you say, yeah. You know, I always believed that was going to happen. I always believed it. Or you will have some people say it just takes like probably one time something or a few times. Not a lot of people, it doesn't take one. It takes a few good things to happen or a few things to happen, the impossible to happen a few times where you say, you know what? I believe it's going to happen. I believe that. Yeah, I believe it now. What if it's only one time? You got to wait for 2-3 more times, because then you often hear someone say, the first time it worked, maybe that was luck. That's what you hear people say. Yo, man, that was luck. I don't know how I got through in school, but that was luck. I don't know how they accepted my application. That was luck. That's what people say. Mind you, you're the one who filled out the application. You're the one who filled out the references and all this stuff, whether it was for school or for a job. And then when you finally got the call, hey, listen, for school, you got the letter, you got accepted. Or for the job, you got the call, we would like to have you for an interview. And hey, listen, we're offering you the job. What, you're going to say that was luck? That's what you're going to say? That was complete luck. So that's what you're saying. But here's what I need you to understand. With that, for those of you who just wonder if this faith thing, this faith walk, and this journey of life, if it's real or if it's even worth it. Some of you wonder, like, well, how does this faith walk work? Let me explain it to you. It's just like as if you're walking in a forest or you're walking down a road. Fog. Very foggy. What do you do with that? What do you do in that? Some of you will just say, you know what? Let me just sit back and wait. Let me just wait for the fog to clear up before I walk. We're not talking about you're driving. We're talking about walking. Now, here's the thing. You need evidence to see if there's another piece of road in front of you, correct? That's what you're going to wait for. That's what you want to see. You want to see if there's another piece of road in front of you. You want to make sure, I want to make sure there's no blockage on the path. But here's the thing. Faith doesn't require evidence. It creates it. You need evidence that there's a road in front of you. Faith doesn't require evidence. It creates the evidence. Just as I said to you earlier, that most people can only understand faith after the outcome has shown up. So therefore, now they have the evidence. Because this happened for me. I got hired for the job I didn't even expect I was going to get. Man, I didn't expect I was going to get this windfall from whomever passed away or whatever happened. I didn't expect that, right? But there was no evidence. But the thing is, faith doesn't require the evidence. It just creates the evidence. It happens. The path won't make sense until you're standing at the end of it. It's not until at the end of the journey that you say, this made sense. So this is what faith looked like. Again, as I said earlier, most people can only understand faith after they walk the path. After they get to the finish line, now they look back and say, so that is faith. But for most people, they want to wait to see something. And just a very small few, they don't need to wait to see something. They're like, I'm just going to have to walk this. If you're an entrepreneur, you'll get what I'm talking about. You had to do that. You had no clue how this thing was going to work. You don't know. When you decide, like, yeah, something's going to have to work on this one, but you probably got a business plan, half done business plan, and you're still going to try to move out on it. But you believe in you. You believe in the product that you're selling. You believe in it. And you say, yeah, people are going to want this product. So now it's as if, as I mentioned to you, you're on this path and you're on the road and you got nothing but fog. And you're walking. You still believe that there's a road in front of you as you walk each step, one foot in front of the other. But then, here's what happens when you're walking. some of you may stop because you need clarity, or some of you won't start at all until you get some clarity. You won't start at all until you get some clarity, but that's not how this faith walk works. You got to walk in the middle of this fog. No matter how light or thick it is, you have to walk in that fog. Now, in that fog, as you're walking, you're going to start seeing your hands little by little. Little by little, you're going to start seeing your foot. One foot, the next foot, the next foot. Little by little, you're going to start seeing the ground that you're walking on. You're going to see that as you're walking. So then now, this is where you start, your confidence start getting reassured or getting assured at this point. You're like, okay, I see the ground. I see the ground. Okay, I see my feet. Okay. I see my hands. All right. I start seeing a little stuff right around me. 180 degree. I can see, okay, I can see that. I can see trees. Okay, I can see some shrubs. There's a deer over there, and there's more stuff over there that look like a mountain, but I can see something. That's what we look for. We look for clarity before we walk. But you see, in the faith journey, it is opposite of that. It is opposite. A lot of you want to see that clarity before you walk, but in faith, no, you're going to see it as you walk. As you walk, clarity is going to start coming forth. Clarity is going to start happening. So stop waiting for clarity to move. Move, and clarity finds you on the way. As you walk, your hands are going to start reappearing right in front of you. Like, oh, I didn't see these when I first started. I start seeing my feet. Now you're clear. The fog, and here's what happens. Eventually, the fog starts to clear up. The fog starts to clear up. Now it was no longer thick. It starts to get light to the point where it dissipates. Where you're like, okay, I see the rest of the road right ahead of me. Now, how did you get a chance to see that? Because you had to walk in faith in the middle of this fog. You didn't know if there was going to be a log or a tree branch there to trip you up. You had no clue if there was a fox or something just in the bushes lurking for you. You had no clue, but you still walked. You have no clue who's out there lurking to go and trip you up on your path of your business. You have no clue who's out there to trip you up on your path of getting better in school or getting a degree. You have no clue. You have no clue what's going to happen. Just like if you have a team, every start of the season, every team believes they're going to be a champion. Every team. Yo, we're going to the World Series. We're going to the Super Bowl. We're going to the finals. Every team believes that. Now, why? That's a faith move. Are some of them just talking pure BS? Maybe. Probably. But they're saying it. Do many of them believe it? Nope. But they're just saying it. Now, here's the thing. Throughout the season, I think who had the longest season? I think baseball or basketball, one of them. I think basketball had the longest season, right? Between the major sports. So, but to me, I think baseball does, because that is insane. 182 games? Good God. But anyway, so as these teams are playing, they don't know. Again, it's fog. They don't know how the season's going to go. They don't know lurking is injuries. They don't know lurking is when you're going to have players, you're going to have infighting. They don't know that there's going to be a game or two or several that is going to be, you're getting blown out. Things are not looking up. But do they still believe? Do they still have faith that they're actually going to go to the finals and win the championship? Do they believe that? That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Some may say, well, y'all got a bad record. That doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, all they just need to do is just seed. They just need to seed in the playoffs, and then they got to take off from there. Now it's from there. Now they got to see what they're going to be able to do. But to get to the playoffs, they still had to go in faith. Despite the injuries, despite the infighting, despite reporters and analysts calling them and saying different things about them, that's part of the game. If a person runs for the president of the United States, same thing. If whoever's that candidate, they think they're going to go to, they believe they're going to the White House. That's what they believe. They're supposed to. I will hope so. But along that path of campaigning, they're going to have to deal with analysts questioning them on their path of the campaign. They're going to have to deal with people when they're going to deal with open town hall questions, and somebody's going to question them and give them a hard question. Yeah, they're going to have to deal with this stuff. But here's the thing. They don't know when it's going to happen. They have no clue, but they still get on that bus or whatever, their vans or whatever, and they still go from state to state, city to city, shaking hands, kissing babies. They still doing it. Because why? They want your vote. Still want it. But that is what faith is about. And here's what I need you to understand as you walk this journey, as you walk this faith journey, that in the midst of this fog, in the midst of fog of you trying to finish school, you want to get that degree. You want to walk across that stage. Walking across that stage is the end goal of your journey, right? But guess what? You're going to have classes going to get kind of difficult. You're going to have some instructors going to get difficult. You have no clue what's going to happen with that. You're going to also have some moments when you're going to be sick, and you're going to have those moments where you don't want to go to class. You're going to have moments where you're going to be burning the midnight oil beyond until you can get that assignment done. You're going to be late on some assignments. Some assignments you're going to be good on. You're going to be like, oh man, I don't know if I'm going to get this class. But you still have faith that you're going to walk across that. You're going to walk across that stage, right? You still have faith on it. And when does this start to get cleared up to you? Until when now you get all the advisement and everything, and then you find out like, wait a minute, I'm on my way to graduating. I'm only like 4 credits away. I'm only 5 credits away. I'm only 3 credits away, 2 credits away from graduating. Now the fog starts to dissipate. It clears up for you. Clarity is now in your view. So here's what I need you to understand in your faith journey. Trust the process, even when the process insults your logic. Trust the process, even when the process insults your logic. Logic is going to tell you, look, bro, you are not getting that loan for this business. You don't have the credit score. You don't have the experience. But some way, somehow, Mr. Put your name in. You got approved for the loan. See that building that you want, that brick and mortar business that you saying that you want to open up? Yeah, a lot of people who've gotten that, the seller's not giving it to people like that. Out of nowhere, the seller calls you. Mister, put your name there. The building that you said you wanted, I'll give it to you for this. This is the price that I'm putting it for. And lo and behold, you got the money for it. You got the funds for it. Faith. Your logic is telling you, I got a low credit score. I've maxed out credit cards because I was believing in my business. I believe in it. Your logic is telling you you're not getting that. Your logic is going to tell you, yeah, we got a bad record. There's a possibility we're not going to make it to the championship. It's a rough start to the season. But faith says, still apply for the loan. Faith says, still apply for that building. Faith said, still played out the rest of the season. Faith says that. Faith says, hey, listen, I still need you. Just because you're having trouble in this 1 or 2 classes doesn't mean it's over. Here's what I still need you to still do. You still study and still see yourself going across that aisle. There's a graduation there. So trust the process. Even when the process insults your logic, also stop waiting for clarity to move. A lot of you are stuck because you're waiting for clarity, like clarity. Stop waiting for that. Because once you move, clarity will find you along the way. Clarity will find you along the way. So you got to get up and move. So, in the midst of your faith, this faith walk that feels like madness, it feels like craziness right now. Before your breakthrough, you're going to have to go through a breakdown. Fellas, thanks a lot for rocking with me. And like, subscribe, comment, share on this. And as always, whether you win or lose, the battle is never over. It is only your next round. I'm Anthony. I'm going to check you on the next one. Peace.